Hello, welcome to the Unexplained Realms. We have Walter, and I'm gonna let you say your last name.
Good day. I'm Walter Pesusich.
And you are the author of the book. I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Rudecinda's Mystery. Yeah.
Correct. Rudecinda's Mystery, The Lost San Pedro Treasures.
And this definitely is going to tie into a previous episode that I did about the San Pedro haunting of Jackie. Was it
Her
Hernandez? So, but first, let's talk about your book because it's fascinating. Let's see, I think I got the cover here. There you go.
Yeah, there it is. Uh, it's mainly about Rudecinda Sepulveda Dodson. She was born in 1858 and died in 1930s. So think of her as the time of her life in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Um, she was one of the original Spanish families in Los Angeles and owned the Sepulveda family owned a large part of the land, with hers being in the port town area of what is known as San Pedro, California today. Um, Basically, they owned all of, from those familiar with the area, all of Western Avenue to the port was a vast amount of land, and her parents were the one who kind of had it, and they end up having seven children, um, six who died prematurely. I think three or four of them died by the time they were 4 years old, and then the other two or three died by the time they were 20. And the only remaining daughter was Rudecinda Sepulveda, and
Um,
she kind of had all this land, well educated, devout Catholic, and she would kind of start selling off the land so developers could kind of make this town. Um, Fascinating woman. The more I kind of researched her and looked into her, she what'd she do? She was a amazing philanthropist.
mhm.
She started a women's club or had a building made just for women to discuss issues and things like that. She said, "Hey, it's important to have a fire station." So she kind of donated the land and money to have a fire station in town. She
She was kind of the backbone of the town. It sounds
she
like.
was she was a visionary. She had
Mhm.
just and I mean, almost like in today's standards, you hear of like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, that massive
Mhm.
amount of wealth. But this woman did just extremely good stuff with it.
Wow. Yeah.
It was amazing. She donated money. She like, okay, we need a Catholic church and mainly a Catholic school in town. Donated the land, funded it. Then when it came time to rebuild the altar, she funded that. Just a kind-hearted, wealthy woman. And as all wealthy women over time, they amassed jewelry, for birthdays
Mhm.
and anniversaries and gifts. She collected a lot of gold, diamonds, and fine jewelry over time. So this is where it got interesting. Oh, her when she got married, I'm going to say in about 1881, her parents gifted her a Victorian house built in San Pedro, one of the first ones, amazing looking for that time. And so her and her husband moved in there. And let's see. Uh, yeah, let's see. How do I phrase this? After a period of time, she decided, oh, we should have a theater in town. Let's have it where my house is.
Oh.
We'll just move our house. So they
Mhm.
moved it a mile and a half away, to the 13th and Myler area, or 15th and Myler, if you're familiar with San Pedro. And then after a couple decades there, she's like, I think we need a public school, and how about we have it where our property is, and we'll just move our house then.
Oh,
So we'll
wow.
move to a third
So,
location.
so was it the same house? They just picked up
It's
the same house and moved it, or was it a
ex-
different?
exactly just
Wow.
move the house the way it was made. They were able to do it back in that time. And
Mhm.
so this awesome Victorian house has been in three different locations. Um, She eventually died in 1930. And to backtrack a little, with all the stuff she was amassing, as far as jewelry and diamonds and gold, she decided to have these two large chests made. One for the gold pieces, gold crosses, gold coins, and the other one for the fine jewelry and diamonds, well crafted and all that stuff. There's a little bit mentioned in that. And so when she died, it was naturally assumed it went to her only daughter. And no one kind of thought much of it. She died in 1930. Then the daughter died in 1969, and somewhere around there. And they kind of brought it up like, okay, where's all this, the two chests and all this jewelry and gold? And it was nowhere to be found, no records, no other information where it went. So there was just that San Pedro folklore that, oh, Rudecinda hid her treasures, kind of left
Mm.
someone to find, maybe left clues behind where it was. And so that was kind of the folklore in the 70s and 80s. And a couple of people believed it, most people didn't. And I was born in 71. So, you know,
Mm.
10, 12-year old, you're kind of interested in UFOs and Bigfoot and, the ghost
Mysteries, yeah.
mysteries, the ghost at the lighthouse story and all
Mm.
that. Well, there was always that San Pedro one. Yeah, there's hidden treasure in San Pedro. No one knows where it is. Everyone's trying to figure it out. And later on, I came to find out that one gentleman, he got the old map of San Pedro and he just kind of plotted the three locations where that Dotson residence was. And he just kind of went to the center of this triangular area and just like, okay, I'm just going to walk these streets in this area, see if I notice anything. And I mean, this wasn't overnight or anything, it was over a period of time. He noticed there was this one house. Um, that had the same outside molding as the Dodson house.
Oh,
And he's like, okay, that is interesting fact right there. Uh, Long story short, that is where he found the treasure chest for the gold in the guy's basement, um, hidden, well,
wow.
under wrap with all the old fishing nets, the wine making barrels and wine making equipment. Just it was in a heap of junk in this dingy, dank basement.
So
And
the owner of that home, did he even know what he was sitting on? Did he even know that the chest was there?
no, from what I found and believe, the guy befriended this fisherman, and San Pedro at that time was a large sea fishing community. And the guy would go out for 2 to 3, 4 months, going out to sea towards Mexico and out in the Pacific fishing. And one day when he went in and discovered it himself.
Wow.
Um, Intriguing story behind all that stuff. Couple
Yeah.
more other fun details, and
I
so.
I have the link scrolling at the bottom where you all can go pick this book up at Amazon. I think I'm definitely going to do the same and read it. I when I bring authors on, I end up getting so excited I binge read your books. So yeah. Um, but yeah, so with the movement of this house, you're saying it was tied to the Jackie Hernandez case somehow. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Oh, exactly. So this house where the gold was discovered in the late 80s, I want to say 87, 88. And shortly after the gold was taken out, was several months, a handful of months later, was the same house as the Jackie Hernandez house.
Oh, wow.
So there's speculation like, wow, did this man kind of wake up something and create a disturbance in this
So
house?
where he found the gold was the Jackie Hernandez house? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Wow. So perhaps, I mean, maybe it did awaken something, just finding those gems, the gold, whatever. Like maybe it opened
Um,
something up.
the spirit of Rudecinda, or actually, they. one of the ghosts, if you kind of watch the Jackie Hernandez documentary, um, I believe it was around the time
Hmm.
as a drunken sailor actually was found
Hmm.
murdered. Well, he was found
That's in
drowned
my
in the
yeah.
port.
That's in my episode. The young man was found in the water, dead,
Yes.
and
Um,
what they
Go on.
came back with later was, I think it was an old fisherman or something that had killed him, and he was angry. She was seeing those two spirits in her house, so it's just something like that.
And some people are speculating that when Rudecinda needed help with this, her friend, I forgot his name, like a Griffith Damon, to help
Hmm.
move this into the basement. They just went to one of these bars, found a drunken sailor. Hey, we'll give you a
Hmm.
bottle of whiskey. We'll give you a couple $100. Just help us move something. And that guy was the one who helped assist Damon Griffin and put it down there and just kind of decided, okay, we can't have him know anything about this. And hence, it almost looks like a drowning in the port.
Hmm.
So
Very
there
possible.
might be a relationship. And then
Hmm.
also, that's one of the ghosts speculated to be haunting Jackie.
Hmm. And interestingly enough, she left that house and it followed her. So, I mean, I always wondered if she herself was a little bit of a medium or just didn't realize it. So,
Also, there was the second ghost. There was one night just before it stopped haunting her, there was an orb involved, and the
hmm.
orb went outside, and she followed it down Grand Avenue towards 25th Street. And that's basically the Harbor View Cemetery. So she followed it into the cemetery. And then, if I'm not mistaken, there was just some kind of like flashing light
Hmm.
and it kind of went down. So, two people buried in that cemetery that I know is this Griffin Damon gentleman, as well as Rudecinda's mausoleum is right there as well.
Wow. Have you visited her mausoleum or no?
Multiple times.
Oh,
Yes,
I can imagine. Yeah.
it's just
Um,
fantastic.
so, what do you think the purpose was for them hiding the gold? Was it like to hide it from somebody specific, or she just kind of wanted to store it?
Um, just the way I'm thinking is she just wanted it to be found, leaving a series of clues on how to get it, and
Maybe
whoever
so.
saw it, like a good old fashioned treasure hunt in a way,
Hmm.
and leaving other information behind as the book kind of goes into it. That's what I believe.
Hmm. Interesting. Was she one that was into mystery type things like that, or?
Um, I don't know exactly. I can't say
Mhm.
yes or no.
Yeah,
No.
probably. I would imagine if she left her gold behind in that manner, like she probably was up for a good mystery. So,
Exactly. The clues leading for the chest with the diamonds are, as mentioned in the book, are interesting, where it involves lighthouses as well as a moving church, which that's another interesting factor I could just cover real quick. In San Pedro, there's the old St. Peter's Episcopal Church.
mm,
Um, Tiny church fits 100 people, and it was built first in 1883, 2 years after the Dodson residence was built. And again, after a couple decades, they moved it to a second location.
mm,
And then you think, okay, they after a while they moved it to a third location, the Harbor View Cemetery. So we had this old St. Peter's Episcopal Church
mhm,
in the cemetery for several decades. Then it started getting dilapidated, falling apart, a little bit of vandalism, and it looked horrible. I was just thinking, growing up, why don't they just trash it? It's
right.
in disrepair. But there was some funding, and they refurbished the whole church and moved it to a fourth location, which was the cemetery across town, Green Hills Cemetery. The odd thing is, you look at this, the four location this one church has been over 140 years is Rudecinda is somehow connected to these locations. The first location was on Beacon and Second for the church, and
Mm,
her residence was on Beacon and Seventh, just a short 5 blocks away.
wow.
Second location of this church was a block away from where she decided to donate the land and have the church and a Catholic school built. And third location is the Harborview Cemetery, where she has her current mausoleum and where she's buried. And then it was back in just, I'm going to say 2008 is where they moved this cemetery to its fourth location. And, I went to go visit it, of course, and it just kind of
Mhm.
other odd things there. A couple of famous people
Really?
buried. Um, and so you're just kind of looking like, okay, there it is. It looks all nice, refurbished. But, too bad it's on the other side of town. Nothing to do with Rudecinda, and it's
Uh-huh.
kind of in the back part of the cemetery. But then right behind it is the residential area where
Mm,
it hit me that, oh, right there is where Rudecinda Sepulveda Dodson Middle School is.
wow.
And
Okay.
so I'm just thinking there has to be some connection between this little chapel
Mm.
and Rudecinda. Um, so yeah, the book goes into that as well.
So I have a QR code here. Anybody that watches this, you just take your little phone out, take a picture, and it'll take you right to a link so you can buy this book. We'll leave it up there for a while. So interesting. And I think I'm just like obsessed with her now. I mean, she built schools, she built churches, she wanted to build her community. What an amazing individual. Um,
Exactly. You are quite right there. Just wow.
mhm.
I think more people, yeah, should know about this woman, and
Mhm.
I'm just trying to bring her back alive. It's,
Right. So many of the billionaires in the world should follow suit, give back
yeah.
to the people. Um, I You had mentioned also working near the entity house.
Yes, I work close to the entity house right there on Braddock Avenue. It's a couple blocks
Um,
away.
wow.
I,
Do you ever like stop and take a peek, or do
um,
people live in it, or?
yes, people definitely live in it, and just you just drive by and look like, yeah, that's the house that they made that movie with, and where that ghost did stuff to a woman
But
there as well.
it's not haunted still. You think? No, no reports of anything.
No reports of any kind. No.
Wow. Yeah, interesting though. I definitely wonder if leaving the kind of a mystery behind it did, I don't know, open something up. A portal for spirits to come in, or perhaps those spirits that Jackie had encountered just really wanted their story told. I mean, I don't
I
know.
just think it's uh, odd, and you could just speculate. It's very intriguing,
Mm,
very
yeah.
intriguing.
Um, I believe the two definitely have to be connected. Like the Jackie Hernandez haunting is the same location of where the the stuff was found. So definitely a connection, but the mystery is what is the connection. So um,
Um, yeah, there was that San Pedro. Few locals kind of always have the less you talk about it, the less of a chance other people would kind of find this treasure or discover it. So it's
mm,
always kind of like mum's the word, keep it low key, mention it to certain people, and then you kind of swap information. But then, kind of at the time where it's like, I just had all this information that I could just compile into one book. Like, let's get the world knowing about this. I
mhm.
think it's just a fantastic
So
story.
is that the only treasure she left behind? Do you think there's any more, or still lost
Well, we know the gold one was discovered in the late 80s, and then there's the missing chest with her diamonds and fine jewelry.
out there? So that's still out there. I think it would be amazing to see like a reality show. Follow someone, hint, hint to you, no, follow someone and try and trace it, see if we can find it. That would be interesting to watch. Not only that, just really deep diving into the history of her. Um, I don't know, hint, hint, make a YouTube channel. Think, go visit the school, talk about the history. I think just seeing it would be not not as great as reading it, but something visual would be kind of fun to see all the
Yeah.
things that she did.
For the San Pedro people that read the book so far, I've been getting a lot of emails like, I grew up next to this building. I know that lighthouse.
Mm. Oh,
I know where she's buried. Yeah, me and my friends went there in high school and used to hang out and just kind of hear these odd little stories of, yeah, they recognize a lot of these locations and now they kind of have a background. Oh, that's what that building did and
oh,
was and all
yeah.
that.
So
And it's
when
kind of
you,
cool that
mm,
the Dobson residence is still at the location and on like 13th and Myler, right across the street from the football field, the high school
oh
football field.
wow,
And so you drive by and you look at it and it's like, wow, that house has been there, well, been built 140 years ago and it's still there.
moved multiple times and survived it. What does it look like to this day? Does it look? Is it lived in? Somebody's living there, or
A family lives there. He painted it an atrocious color, just like a
um,
bad blue and a bit of bad purple.
don't they always do that? They always do that to the oldest homes. It's just awful.
Yeah, it stands out oddly, but it's like, okay, you can still see the architecture of it. It's still
Hmm.
like the same photos I have from, the
Hmm.
1880s.
Wow, that would be interesting. Um, I wonder if they sense or feel anything in that house. That'd be interesting to know.
That would be very interesting to know.
When you
Yeah.
visited her where she's buried, do you feel anything, especially now that you've written the book? Feel her in any way?
Um, I don't feel anything, but you could kind of start to tell, like on top, there's a couple cracks in it, and it's like the heavy, thick door is starting to look withered,
Oh,
and I think someone's gonna have to step up and like, okay, we got to kind of fix this up a little.
she
But
should still have some kind of heirs around, I would imagine.
I
Yeah,
believe so. Yeah,
yeah.
I think when it gets a little worse, they're gonna step
Maybe
up and
they'll
do
have to
it.
do something. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow, so interesting. Anything else you wanted to share about the book, the process, how you arrived at the process?
Um, Not offhand. It was just like a passion project. Just
Hmm.
got my big fat notebook with all these like maps and scribbles and Xerox articles and you know notes that see page 83 that connects this person to that person, and it was just a fun passion project that made sense looking at it from a big picture.
Totally a mystery, like a where's the treasure kind of mystery. Um, I can't wait to read and maybe visit San Pedro someday and be able to put it all together visually. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Come
So,
on down and see it.
yes, I'm not far. I'm in like Central California, so I just don't make it down there very often. So, but anything else? Nothing.
No, I am good and happy to meet you and happy to talk with you. Yeah.
Okay, well, I have that QR code up there, and if you guys, he has a website as well. Let me put that up. You can go over and I don't know if you take emails from people or
Yeah, sure.
so. I guess you could contact him via his website, or you can go grab the book on Amazon. Um, Either way, let us know in the comments if you read it and what you think, and leave a review for him on Amazon. You guys, do it. All right. Thanks for coming on and joining me in the unexplained realms.
Thank you, Anne. I appreciate it.